Archbishop of Radio is back.
DJSbuLive with DJ SBU, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m.
Siyabonga Jesu, siyabonga. Singibala ngithuza umnikazi. Siyabonga Kakaramba, siyabonga Jesu.
This was awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tembisa's finest. Uzosilalela khona manje. Ulaleleza seTembisa bathi siyabonga Jesu. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting in studio with Pastor Solly Mahlangu.
Yeah.
Now, he was born in South Africa, Johannesburg, back in 1971, established and founded a church, the Word Praise Christian Center International, which has become one of the fastest growing churches in the area. He's currently pastoring with his wife, the above mentioned church, and we are talking to him today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in studio, DJ Solly Mahlangu.
I'm glad to be here. But more than that, I'm glad to see you.
Thank you, sir.
See you from Ekas. You know, I'm excited to be with you. You know, and I'm greeting all the viewers and the listeners and everyone. I'm greeting both the listeners of Massiv Metro and Voice of Tembisa, please.
Semenlang, straight line, Rabasutu, Sempianing, Senchonalang, Sekatlamping, Seklamatlam.
We're there.
Hospital view, Ivory Parky.
Awesome.
Is here, and I would like for us to inspire people. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much. I am glad to be here. What an honor. What a humbling experience just to be in your presence and just to be in this place.
It's our honor. How was the weekend? You had a great weekend?
I had an awesome time. Well, I'm a pastor, so I'm always busy weekends.
Yeah, you're working. The weekend is weird.
I'm always busy. If I'm not coming from a concert to the stage to preach, you know, I'm somewhere. So it's always busy. But I had a very good time.
Exciting time. So getting indaba economy is getting good traffic na sports. Nasibuya lapho sixoxe. A lot of people, you see them there as stage, or you see them there on newspapers, television. Kodwa isikhathi esiningi awazi impilo abayiphile bafike kanjani lapha abakhona. Today it's a great opportunity for us to listen to Dr. Solly Mahlangu's story. Where does he come from? How did he begin this journey? How did he become the man that he is? He'll basically minister by sharing with us his story. With one of our legends, not only at Tembisa in the country, he ministers through the gift that God has given him, and he ministers as a pastor as well at his own church that he founded, and is also an entrepreneur and somebody who's a family man, a father, and a leader of our community where I come from. So I'm really proud to be sitting with him on this chair. Out of all the work that he's done over the years, I want you guys to be inspired through his story. And Dr. Solly Mahlangu, where are you from? What is your story? I'm going to take you a few decades back.
How long you have for me to tell you my story? Well, let me say this. I was born back in 1971, but let me say this. I'm 48 years old. A young girl was 14 years old, 1414. And this young girl during school holidays, you know, I'm a holiday, December, June, school holidays. She went to look for employment, just a temporary employment. And where she found the place, it was only ladies or only girls. They were making flowers. But the supervisor was a man. And this man, as this girl was looking for a job, this man decided to rape this girl. 14-year-old. 14-year-old raped, went home, confused, didn't know what had just happened. And after a while, they saw her at home, that something was wrong. And they asked her, who did this to you? She took them to a particular house because they told her that man lives in that particular house in Tembisa. Estama.
Estama, yes.
Yeah, well, let me plug in there. So yabona Solly Mahlangu, ne?
Yeah.
Maritime la Manglaza. I don't know my father. I've never seen my father. So Mahlangu is my mother's surname. Yeah, but I always laugh about it because when my breakthrough came, it came through the song Obrigado Shikwembu Shamadim, and Obrigado is Portuguese.
Yes.
So I don't even know what that Obrigado piece comes from my father's side, whom I don't know. So
don't know, yes.
but then my mother took them to a house. And when they got to that house, they got there, they found an old lady. And as she tried to describe what happened and the person she's looking for, the old lady said, "No, we've never seen this girl. We don't know you." So at that time, she was pregnant with me.
Oh, so the 14-year-old is your mother.
So the 14-year-old, she was pregnant. And she went there and she was rejected by that family. And I always say sometimes it's okay for people to reject you, because sometimes, look at it this way. When a big man or a big thing is coming your way, there has to be some people that are moved out. There has to be some cleanup. When a president is going to come, he doesn't just come. The first people come and they clear, they sweep, they check, everything is cleared. So 1971 she gave birth to a handsome, healthy, bouncing baby boy. I was born.
Wow. It's time. Okay.
Yeah, so ekhaya kusemkanza ngikhulele kagogo emkanza.
Yes.
And so I grew up and I've never seen my biological father. And I don't know him for 48 years now. So
how was the upbringing? 70s, 80s?
Well, I was raised by my grandmother. And I grew up like any other boy in the township. I didn't know what was going on. The one thing that stood out in my mind all the time when I think about it is that I had a friend at Skolwen from standard 1. During our time was standard, not grade.
Yeah.
From standard 1 to matric, we used one desk, one classroom, all these years. And ngifunde eqaleni ngayeshukumani ngayoqeda eBultumelo.
Ngiyazi shumukuma nonyazi eBultumelo. Okay. So mina ngifunde olamlambe Siphiwe eThembisa High naseMadibatlo.
Siphiwe Thembisa High probably okay. eThembisa High la ngiqale khona ichurch lele ngiliphethe ngiqale eThembisa High. But what happened was that this friend of mine engikeleze his father divorced his mother and married another mother. And they were about 3 or 4 born, and then there were 2 other kids from this other mother. So this friend, they did not go and stay with their mother. They stayed with the father, with the new mother.
Yeah.
So he would come to school and complain about the treatment he's getting from his father. And all that and so on. I would not respond. I would try and encourage him. But in my heart, I would be saying, I wish I have a father I could complain about. And that's one of the things I say, every man out there, if you have your child out there, it doesn't matter if you did not marry their mother, but look for your child. Take care of your child. And most men think that the first thing that a child needs is their money. No. The first thing they need is your voice. They need to hear your voice. They need to hear you say, I love you. They need to hear you say, I'm proud of you. They need to hear that. And that I missed. But everything I missed was a training for me for where I am today.
I mean, that's those days now are cool. Apartheid.
Stoitoile too much. Yes. And stoitoile.
STU. Where were you in the mix of all of this?
We did all of that.
Because
we did.
You guys were risking everything.
Yeah, we
there
did.
were so many chances you were not supposed to be sitting here.
No, we did all of that. I remember this one particular time we were standing across Irabasutu Tembisa.
Yeah.
Simegwe side high school.
Yeah,
and amapoisa amegule site police station. And then they were saying, we give you 3 minutes to disperse and all that. And I remember we were like, we're not going anywhere. Hi. That's why in my recording I do some of those toy, because that's how I grew up. And I remember they said, you have 2 minutes, you have 1 minute, and then they started shooting with the rubber bullets. I remember we ran inside into the high school, and I remember we had to go into the ceiling, and we had to push each other to the ceiling, and we had to be silent. And I remember the police came into the room, looked, bafuna, and we had to be so still and so quiet. And I never forget that. You know why I don't forget it? Beng no panyaza.
Yeah.
So I don't remember that incident. So that's why today we're grateful when I see what he's doing and what God has done in my life and so on. I'm saying, well, we've gone through difficult times, difficult upbringing, not knowing my parents, through poverty. But you know, I had to decide, because it's not a foregone conclusion that if you're born poor, you're going to end poor. It's not a foregone conclusion. And most people don't understand that. There are basically 4 things I say affect us. It's environment, credible others, or what we call role models, or what we call authoritative voices, and repetitive information and lifestyle decisions. Your daily decisions, they determine your destiny. Whatever you do every day determines where you're going. You see, I look at you hustling. I see you in the streets. I see you saying, when you said more fire, everybody thought, what is this? And then we saw you in the street. We thought, this guy is joking, he's playing. But your daily decisions, what you do every day, determines your destiny. So today, everyone that knows about More Fire, it's because of the things you were doing every day, and the little ones. Yes. And by the way, success is not big. Success is small into big.
Success is not big. Success is small into big,
but with consistency and diligence and discipline.
Igama like Solly Mahlangu is joining us in studio to inspire, encourage you, and I'm very happy because welcome to the Voice of Tembisa 87.6 FM and Massiv Metro. You can already see him is in studio and he's imagining himself on stage. Some of his live recordings.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he gets emotional as well. This one is called Emmanuel.
Yeah. God with us. You know, and that's a very interesting part of my life. At the age of 5, they tell me at home that we are kumbula ekasi in those days, ngama Saturday. Bebavuka bashaya spring cleaning, and then bese bathatha speaker basibeke ngaphandle sihlale kwi green or tempest. So I would my family would sit there, and then basithengele big beer, castle, and on all that. And they tell me that at the age of 5, you know what they would do? They would take, as they are drinking, at the age of 5, they would give me a little bit to drink.
Yeah.
And then after a while, saying it, sengitwagile mina manje, sengitwagile mina manje. Yeah, maranjoba sengitwagile. Then I begin to entertain them. So I would sing and dance for them and so on. 2 things were happening at that time. The seed of what I'm going to become was showing up, and the seed of that which would choke that which I would become was also showing up. So the seed and the weed was showing up. The alcohol and the music was showing up. And at the age of 10, I saw one guy playing an accordion, Costin.
Yeah.
Well, how you know something is what you are called for on earth, your purpose. When I looked at that boy in Costina, if you imagine it truck as Elisha Imoto, and they put a hook on that car, and they pulled that car, because the car Ikonogu Zambela. It's what happened to me. When I looked at that guy playing the Costin, it was like there's a hook that was thrown onto me, and I was pulled towards him. And from that time, I never looked back. I told him, can you teach me how to play this? He didn't teach me, but my grandmother used to wake me up at night once a month, you see. Yeah. And I didn't know that my grandmother had already spotted Guting Tanu music. So after a while, my grandmother said, Mdanam, my grandson, it's time now I get you your instrument. So my grandmother bought my first accordion. And the rest was history. I never looked back. And here's what I did. I did what you're doing with Mofai. So I would carry my accordion. I'll walk the streets. If I see a church, I would go in there and say, can I sing a song for you? If I see a tent, people having a gathering, I'll go, can I sing a song? So it was my hustling time. And I hustled for 27 years before I got breakthrough.
Wow.
And when breakthrough came, breakthrough found me. But it found me in my hustling. You see, because you don't look for breakthrough. You keep hustling,
doing what you are loving,
keep doing what you love. Yeah. Because angeti eventually, how you know eventually, once you can do something and you can be satisfied and find fulfillment, even if you are not paid, you've discovered what you've been born to do. So I kept on doing it until breakthrough found me. And when breakthrough found me, you know, God has a sense of humor. After 27 years, I recorded Obrigado. Obrigado exploded everywhere. Now, I did not compose, I did not write Obrigado. It's a song that was sung. It's like a song that everybody sings out there.
Yeah.
Because the issue is this. There's a story in the Bible. I'm gonna be brief on that. Many people know it. It's a story of David and Goliath. That David was young, but he killed a giant who was Goliath. There's a part in that story that says that Goliath had brought with him a sword, a javelin. He was coming to destroy this young man. This young man only had a stone. He threw the stone at Goliath, and Goliath fell down. And then David ran to Goliath. He took the sword that was in Goliath and cut his head. So what you learn from there is that whatever you need to conquer is with the situation that is brought into your life. So the enemy that was coming to David brought with him the solution that David needed in order to go higher. So many people they stop at the problem. Can't in that problem, good a solution. Yes, success. Yeah.
The very same poverty abelungu basicreatele yona, which is also our solution.
It's fundisi lokuthi we must hustle, we must get better, we must work hard and be who we are today. So I say to people that it's very important that keep on doing what you love and hustling until you get your breakthrough.
How did you first get that breakthrough? How did it come?
You see, that which is another thing.
I want to know that story.
And this is the most important part of it. It's you remember the late Vuyam Kwena?
Yeah, but may his soul rest in peace.
May his soul rest in peace.
We have just done a song with him at Test Records.
Begui Priam's cool song.
Oh, okay.
So Vuyo gets sick, Vuyo passes on, and so we are in his house for the whole week doing my preparations. On Tuesday evening, we have a program. I think it was me, Sipho Makabane, Lindelane Mkhize. I think there was about 4 or 5 of us. We're looking at the program. So we set up Ubano Zoenzani, Lundu Zoenzani, Uschabu Zoenzani, Rebecca Zoenzani, Benjamin Duke. We put all of that. I'm not in the picture because nobody knows who I am at that time. Nobody knows. Yeah. So Wednesday, the program is going on at Grace Bible Church Soweto. I'm not in the program, I'm sitting there. I didn't know there was an argument going on between, I think it was Sipho Makabane, Lindelane Mkhize, Rebecca. I think 3 or 4 of them are arguing to say, asifake nusoli, acula ingoma. And mina ngihleli lapha ngazi next.
Yeah.
Baphikisana. Ekugcineni bavumelane, but okay, let's take this chance. So they called me up to the stage, but okay, go and sing a song. I got up there, and all I did, I said, Bawo xa ndilahlekayo koluha bolweli lizwe hlalunde fundiso ukuthi mayenze ngintando yakho. Before I finished what I was doing on stage, every popular artist was standing with me on stage.
Yo.
I don't know how they came. I don't know what happened.
Singing with you along this.
Yeah. But what I did not know was that in the house, there was every record label, there was every producer, there was every marketing guy, there was every TV radio station there. So look at it this way. Vuyo dies, but in his dying or on his death, he calls everybody for me into one room. And I had nothing to do with it, because your hustling will pay eventually by itself. And when I finished, I went down, somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said to me, somebody wants to see you outside. And when I went outside, there were about 4, 5, 6 people who were giving me offers. And I mean, all the big names, they gave me offers. They wanted my number. And when I was going to record Obrigado, I had about 4 or 5 deals in front of me.
Wow.
I had to decide which direction I'm going.
Just from singing that one song on stage.
Yeah.
And somebody else can say it's an overnight success.
Yeah. And I had nothing to do with it. Let's not miss that part.
Yes,
I had nothing to do with it. All I did was continue my hustling.
What you've been doing all along. Yes. You did not even plan to be on that stage.
I didn't.
You did not
know.
even know that you were going to be on that stage.
I was not even on the program. But when your time has come, there's no bulldozer that can stand on your way. When your time has come, there's nothing that can stand on your way.
When your time has come, there's nothing that can stand in your way.
There's
When your time has come,
there's no
nothing.
person that can stand. There's no boss. There's no manager. There's no powerful. There's no influential person. There's no big company that can stand on you. When your time has come, your name will be called in places where everybody will say, how do you get here? And that's how success comes. If you become continuously disciplined, continuously diligent, continuously do what you do, and do it without complaining.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Tembisa icon. For those who don't know, Pume Tembisa. Asal Nyamtandi Africa. You know, which is great. But what I love is the humility in his story. Some of the lessons that I've learned and some of the things that he's saying, ubeka uyenze yona lento yenzayo noma ungabona ngathi wena incane noma ungabona ngathi ayina mphumela kodwa uyithanda kakhulu noma ingakubhadali yenze qhubeka ngaleyo hustle yakho noma ngabe incane kanjani. One day izokufaka endaweni nawe ungazi ukuthi ungene kanjani kuzo ikuvulela iminyango ukuthi nawe wazi ukuthi ivuleke kanjani leyo minyango. His name is the great legendary Solly Mahlangu, representing Ikasla Makasi, Tembisi Mamlikani, Ikasle Clever. Yes, Solly Mahlangu is in studio. This one is a live one. Obrigado blew up to the whole continent. Did you expect that it'll be big outside of South Africa as well?
No, I didn't.
And how did that open doors for the rest of your career?
I'm all over the continent, and I'm shocked. One of the things that has shocked me is how I'm received in the continent. I'm so shocked that I get into countries out there, I receive presidential treatment. For me, it's shocking me. I go to Tanzania, 60,000 people are coming to. They want to see Solly Mahlangu. Now, just Obrigado, I'm singing in more than 8-9 languages now.
Wow.
Because I've learned it. They taught me in Swahili, Unaweza, Bwana wa mabwana, Asante sana, Bwana wa mabwana. I go to Zimbabwe, they teach me in Shona. I do it in Shona. So I am humbled what God has done. But I'm also thinking that the 27 years was the time for the roots to go deeper, because if any tree is going to go higher, the roots must go deeper. The way I look at it is that what God has done is as a result of the 7 years of investment. So it's not a quick umlilo amapepa thing.
Yes.
It's and even now another transition happened in my life, because even now after this much success, I also had to transition from a record label into establishing a record label to be a businessman and an entrepreneur and learn the back office and learn how everything is done and what is done. So, and move just from being a performing artist, but to know the business itself and understand what's going on. And it was a transition for me, and that has caused me to take time away from recording. And only now I'm ready for my next recording.
That's what I was about to ask. The new music, when should we expect it? 2020.
2020. I'm doing my new live recording. I've got the material. I'm ready. I'm working on stuff, so I'm doing good.
That's incredible work, and I'm quite excited for your latest work. Currently, how many albums do you have out there?
Now these ones are the popular ones, Obrigado and Mwamba. But I have actually 4 out there. The 2. This is another part of the story. There's 2 albums that were not so popular. They came before Obrigado. Those were during my hustling time.
Oh yes.
Because in your hustling time, you still more fire is not the more fire that we know now. More fire was there in you when we didn't know more fire.
Yes, sir.
You see, and there are moments that you will not even be able to explain to people that you went through. And Tina, what we see today, it's as a result of the stuff we don't see that you went through yesterday. And so for me, there's been I've been through so much.
You've really been blessed because you're telling me about your 3 girls, your family, and that you're very strict. Mondays are sebenzi. By the way, Tembisa, ngicela ukuthi nijabuleni nazi ukuthi uPastor Solly Mahlangu namhlanje uye wathi le interview ngizoyithatha ngoba eyala Tembisa.
Strictly because it was you, Sbu.
Siyabonga Pastor, siyabonga leader. Siyabonga, thank you.
Yeah,
it means a lot to us.
I said because Sbu, I'll take it, but I don't go out on Mondays. It's my time with family. You were saying to me, how do I prioritize? How do I manage and maneuver? Look, there's a church, there's the music, there's the family. You have to define yourself. You have to prioritize. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you stand for. You can't just be tossed to and fro by every wind that comes around. In fact, one of the reasons that people stay in their low levels and not go high, it's because they don't understand that when you are busy with what you are doing, you have no time worried about the wind that's going on out there.
Focus on your lane.
You stay on your lane, and because you are staying on your lane, you will end up where you're supposed to go.
Helping people, what does that passion come from?
Well, I think because when you grow up the way we grew up, you can't help but to be compassionate. There's a lot of things that, for me, when I think about a number of things, people who are struggling, I know what poverty is. One of the things that's really eating me is the drug abuse that's going on, the nyaupe that's going on. So I'm very passionate about helping people, but not just helping. Here's my argument. My argument is I don't want to help someone in their situation. I want to help someone out of their situation, and there's a big difference, because you can help someone to stay where they are. I discourage issue ya handouts, because whoever hands out to you is kicking you out of the system. So you must never rejoice that you are on the handouts. But I want to help someone to come out of there. Let me share
to
this.
Learn how to fish.
Let me share what. A certain man fell onto a pit, and he cried out, "Help!" And a doctor passed by, and the doctor said, "What's wrong?" She said, "I fell into this pit and I don't know what to do." And the doctor wrote a prescription for him and threw it in the pit and said, if you can get this, you will be fine. And the doctor went past, and then the lawyer came. The guy said, "Help!" The lawyer said, "What's wrong?" He said, "I fell in here and I don't know how to come up." The lawyer said, "No, if you use section A of number 26, you will be fine." And the lawyer passed. Worse than that, the pastor came. The guy said, "Help!" And the pastor said,
Tandaza.
"Oh no, here's a verse.
Yeah.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I won't fear no evil." And the pastor went by, and then a friend came, and the guy shouted, "Help!" And then the friend jumped into the pit with the guy, and the guy who was in the pit said to the friend, "You are so stupid. You see, I'm in a ditch, and I'm saying to you, I need help.
Now you are aware.
Now you jump ungena la phakathi.
Yeah.
Sizophuma kanjani?"
Yeah.
And the friend said, "Shh, keep quiet. I was in this pit before. I know the way out of this pit. There is a way that we can use to come out." For me, that is the best way you can help a person. That means the best way you can help people. And I'm also glad that I see you are passionate about helping people.
Yeah.
You're passionate about helping others.
Yes,
and
sir.
I think fulfillment comes in that when God has been good to us, we have to be good to others. Our church is doing well. Our church is 15 years old. Our church said,
So we 15 months.
15 years old. Yeah, sengize ngumpostoli, sengibeka amanye amafundisi.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's growth.
And our church is now lapha ngaqala eThembisa High School,
Yeah.
then we went to Kopanong, then we went to Tsepisa, but now we are just next to Olifantsfontein Station, just next to it. There was
Clayville, no?
Clayville.
Yeah, Clayville.
Mara the east side, it used to be a super spa.
Yeah, nyakumbula.
We bought that building.
Olifantsfontein.
Right in Oliphants, yeah. We bought that building. It used to be super spa. So we are there, and it's growing very fast, and we are doing very well. And I'm only grateful to can be able to every Sunday to encourage somebody, to show somebody direction, to tell people that you can make it, you can go, you can be better, and you can go into a better place.
Ngiyayazi inhlupheko.
Yeah.
Ngiyazi lapho khona.
Yeah.
Ngabuya ngize lapha eKasi ngizokudonsa ngokunceda
Yeah.
ngoba nami ngiphuma lapho.
Yeah. And
as opposed to being a santin and saying,
Yeah.
yenza kanje wenze kanje wenze kanje.
Yeah. And by the way, that's the only reason why SBU you become a role model. I role model hiyo ke leyo nto leyo. Uthi siyakwazi sikubonile uhustle, sikubonile unganalutho, sikubonile uqala from zero. That is important to us. You see, it's not someone who's and umuntu onjalo does not come a condescending attitude. Awuzi from top down. You see, you come at the level of where the person is and say, I know where you are. This is the way out. And I am saying, I have said this before. It's not a foregone conclusion that if you are born poor, you'll die poor. No. And it's even not a foregone conclusion that if you are born rich, you'll die rich. It's what you do with your life. You are responsible for where you're going to end up.
You are responsible.
You are responsible for where you're going to. So everyone out there, stand up and take your life. You know, let me tell you this. All of us, we have two things. We have a seed that we can sow to have a harvest. And if we don't have a seed, we are that seed. You have a seed, imbeo, that you can sow until you get a harvest. And if you can't see a seed in you, you are that seed when as a person. Meaning you don't need to have money to get to harvest. If awunayo imali, you are the seed. Go and sow yourself somewhere.
Ngoba uNkulunkulu athi konke okudingayo kukuwe. Nginikile because you are made in my image.
Thank you.
And I'm a creator.
Hey man, yabona wena soyashumayela manje.
Angithi ngilandela
No,
amaphutha.
sengizokubiza ke sonto uzoshumayela.
Ngifuna ukukhulume no Brasoli ona 60 khona manje lapha kule camera. Ungathanda ithini kuyena?
Solly Mahlangu, at your age, I believe that you need to be in your purpose, in your assignment. Don't miss every minute, every moment to be that which God has created you to become. Because everything that you need is in you. And everyone that you need to influence, make sure you do that part. You are 60 years old now. A whole lot of people are looking up to you. Make sure that you don't play with that.
the great Solly Mahlangu Putomdala siyabonga umusa wakho wokuzosivakashela umsebenzi wakho omuhle wenzayo kusikhuthaza not only see umphakathi wasethembisa kodwa as a whole country, and just what you've started with the little ambition you had to say intwana ethembisa ukhubuluza kungakabi neikontiri kungana next. You guys were west off because ngikhule ngama 80s kungana lutho amabhuna nibulala left right and center. Siyabonga ukuthi you took all of that to where it is today and sharing it with the whole African continent. Siyakuthanda.
I want to say to you, thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for being an encouragement and a role model to others. Continue to hustle. You're not just a billionaire, you're a multi-billionaire. Your future is greater than what you are right now.
I receive, Pastor.
Everything you have done to now up to this point tells me one thing: you can only go up, and that's where you're going. Thank you, SBU.
I received my pastor. That was the great Solly Mahlangu. That was the great Solly Mahlangu. Remember the name, the great Solly Mahlangu. Remember, don't forget the great. Remember the name, the great Solly Mahlangu. Remember the name, the great. Remember the name,
the great Solly Mahlangu.